Asher Samoshe, Lifnei B'nei Yisrael, Adonai, B'yad Moshe, Etz Chayim Yi, L'machazikim Ba, V'tom Keha, Me'ushya, D'Racheha, Darkei Noah, V'chol Yetivotecha, Shalom, Ashivenu Adonai, Elecha v'nashua, Kadesh, Kadesh Yameinu, Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
We can all be seated. Yashikara Anna, beautiful job. Now, it's my honor to invite our very own Miss London to come and share in our Torah with this entire Tehillah, and especially with Talia and Asher. Let's listen and learn.
Don't need to wave that. This week, the Jewish people begin reading a new book of the Torah, Shemot. Well, I guess it's not exactly new, but we're reading it again and hopefully with new eyes. Because while the words of the Torah haven't changed, the world we live in has. And we have changed too. Hopefully we're a little wiser, a little more comfortable in our own skin, and a little more aware of who we are and who we are meant to be. And that's precisely what happens to Moses in the first parsha of Shemot. At the beginning of the parsha, Moses is only a baby, and by the end, he is a young leader. Though the chapters are short, there are many moments that play a role in Moses' journey from infant to leader. One of the most famous comes when he's shepherding his flock in the desert of Midian. It is there, in the barren wilderness, that Moses sees a bush that is engulfed in flames without being consumed, what we call the burning bush. What must Moses have thought when he heard the voice of God speaking to him from a burning bush? What must he have thought when the voice famously told him, "Take your sandals off. For you stand on holy ground." Not working. I had a whole plan up here. Moses probably thought that he was crazy, and then he probably thought the voice was crazy. After all, what's holy about a random patch of desert? There are many things that we can learn from Moses, but maybe one of the most meaningful that we can learn is that we often stand on holy ground without even knowing it. When a friend comes to us for support, holy ground. When we read a beautiful poem or create a beautiful painting, holy ground. When we step out of our comfort zone or do tikkun olam or play the role of a great teammate or say thank you and really mean it, holy ground. Life is a lot more interesting and meaningful when we realize that we stand on holy ground. And these two have given me many chances to realize that time with them is indeed holy ground. Asher, come on up. Okay. I gotta do the talk for the voice. Like Moses, in this parsha, you are most definitely in your growing up phase of life. This year in science, I've observed the typical shift between playfulness and heading towards maturity. My favorite moments, though, have been around your new interest in gardening. You're fascinated with the growth of tiny seeds growing and sprouting and developing into plants, much like yourself at this point in your life, and much like Moses in this parsha. Your enthusiasm, your ruach, is contagious in class, and I find that other classmates, and often myself, drawn in to see what you're discovering each week. Some of your other teachers have also shared the following words about you that I want to Asher is an incredibly bright young man. He learns quickly, is able to use that information to succeed academically, and has an incredible sense of humor. He knows how to make his friends laugh, is full of energy, and has that twinkle in his eye that makes you follow him in any mischief he might pursue. He is completely comfortable with who he is, willing to help others in any way he can, not the least bit threatened by someone else who might be better than him at something. Instead, he chooses to learn from those who might have something to teach him. Asher is also a superior soccer player, been part of a traveling team for years, and loves the chance to use his combination of wits and speed. In whatever career Asher chooses, he will be a leader. He's always willing to give something a try and loves to participate in class, positive attitude.